Hey everybody. We didn't make an intro at the start of this video, so I'm doing it now. We're doing our world building map making for our world, and we're kind of decided to kind of split up our continents a little bit more. So stay tuned for some good map making and whatnot. And also, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. It's a huge help. Our Patreon's in the description, and also our Steam page. Please, please, please. Wishlist, Winter Reach Emporium if you're into management, cozy games, anything like that. Then all of our fantasy games actually take place in our fantasy world. So without further ado, here's the video.
Hey,
and let's
there we go.
redraw the map. Okay.
Redrawing the map time.
And let's say, all right, we got this. We know we're going to have, and we can really shoot around here because we have that we can really do. Keep in mind, like we want to say these are three distinct places, but they're like they are definitely the same continent.
Yeah.
And they should feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it'd be nicer to muddy the border between the Fens and Orinthia.
Yeah, I think that's good too. It gives more like more, I guess, conflicted territory between them rather than just this line where we're like, yeah, this is where this ends, like where this one goes.
Yeah, and I kind of like the, not to lean too heavy into it, but the Game of Thrones, like 7 kingdoms, how there's like 7 kingdoms.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how like Dorne is kind of like barely in the fold?
Yeah.
I think it would be cool to have like the Fens kind of be like Dorne.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Yes, but do you mean as in they are a part of the Earthian Empire right now?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think maybe in the past they may have been conquered.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're not now because turmoils, and obviously maybe like when the Republic got overthrown, or
yeah. But if you were a Renthian and you were to be a supreme empire, the Fens would probably be one of the places.
It would be, yeah, it would probably be, because like most of like say like Westeros history, almost all the conflict in Westeros for like the kings, not almost all, but any of the wars that happen in Westeros for a lot of like the Targaryens is with them trying to conquer Dorne. So there could have been, I mean, they might have never even conquered it. They might have just went and raised like the border castles, and but like,
and it would make sense. I mean, it kind of would like it makes sense as to why the country and the nation itself would be like so militaristically defended. Like they they have a culture of building aqueducts, waterways, castles,
yeah,
etc.
Okay. Well, geez, should we do an intro here, or am I streaming?
You're streaming to me. I'm here.
Should we do an intro here, or should I just put the intro before all the stuff we've already said?
I think it's fine either way, to be honest. I don't think it'll.
Okay, well, I might just do an intro later for the video. But
yeah.
Anyway, so we're looking here, and we're trying to. We know we want Tarsquali, which they're like our hard northern people, and they don't really need to be as diverse, but there's going to be a little bit of a difference between. Because I do think that they should have kind of like some kind of. I don't know. Actually, we'll because we can really play around with them. They're mountainous people that we know that, so there's going to be mountains where they are. It's like the Fens are going to have swamps, right?
Swamps, yeah.
And we want to say, okay, so the Rinthians and the Fens are going to be generally they're going to be like a little bit more diverse. So there's probably like in the Orinthias, there's going to be different kinds of Orinthians, right? So like.
These guys are more commonly have brown hair and blue eyes.
These are the people. These are the Northerners. They're kind of a little bit more like this. Not the. I hate to keep. I don't want to keep leaning on the Westeros thing here, but how there's the Andals and right. So the Andals, right, are kind of similar. I don't know how much you know about it, but like say like the people from the Crown Lands and the Lannister, the people from the Casterly Rock and the Westerlands, and then the people from the Reach, they're all Andals.
Yeah.
Where
the mountains in the Northern Kingdom is a different group, right?
It is a different group, but what I'm looking for is, okay, these people, the Corinthians are the Andals. So they're all the Andals, but there's a bit of difference, right? Somebody from the Reach is a little bit different than somebody from the Stormlands.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I'm vibing for here. So, and I think Orinthia I'm thinking that we have a very like, what is my map one? 3800 by 3800. Okay. It's made quite the shape here, by the way. Okay. So, all right. Well, what would be the easiest? So the fens are going to be generally more south, right?
They are the southern part of this continent here.
And they
we've yet to name.
are. So are we liking them to be on the southeast or the southwest or the south as a whole?
Southwest. If we're because as we're drawing it, the old map shows it on the southwest.
Yeah, and I think it probably should be. Well, actually, it doesn't necessarily have to be, but this continent I think is going to be a skinnier continent because we're kind of cutting it off of.
Yeah.
Jadarin is to the west, and then whatever we're going to end up calling the new Zalkirith, Salakir, and Zalhai and Akari Isles will be to the east. So
yeah. And a part of me likes the idea like of the Finns and the Arinthia, like the trade line, like going from one to the next. So it's like it's nice as them like being pointed to the same coast. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because Arinthia is generally pointed to the west, and the Finns is generally pointed to the west. If they're to have like a trade line, it makes sense that it goes just straight from one to the next.
Yeah,
Whereas
I would actually, and I'll get your opinion on this. I would even be cool with. It might even be cool if the fens are like this, or like the south on like the bottom.
Like below the Salakir, or
no, the Salakir. What I was pitching is that the Salakir is a different continent.
Oh, okay, so we are drawing a totally like boom. We are dividing
like
this.
Like this. This is still this, right? So this would still be this.
Yeah. Okay.
This is still this,
now I see what you're saying.
But this minus Tarsquali. So basically, this new continent would be take these three.
Yeah.
Okay, and then cut them off from this, and push these guys over, and then.
Yeah. Okay.
You like that?
So yeah, maybe I could pull up a stream feed too. Hold on, and I can get up a general little.
This is going to be the long. By the way, if you're watching this is going to be the longest video ever. So tune in because this is going to be literally parts. Actually, we're going to have me and you are about to have 20 videos out of this probably. we'll cut this up into 10-minute, 20-minute chunks rather, or something like that. But this is going to be bad, so get ready.
Yeah. Don't do it all in one sitting. It might be unhealthy.
Yeah, I mean, we literally just argued the other day for 2 hours about dragons, so
it's very.
We're drawing a map now, so it's over.
All right, so I'm streaming, right? So this is. Oh,
I did not expect bringing it over. Here's our square for the viewers.
So this is a vague, generalized shape. I kind of like.
Okay.
I like the idea of it being southwest. Maybe it can curve out a little bit more like this.
And you like the idea.
Arinthia goes way up there.
What's the square?
This is like a vague idea of where like this line is where Arinthia generally like. This is my estimation of where Arinthia should like start. Is this black line?
Mm-hmm.
The green is like the shape of the fens.
Okay, so I'm thinking I like the fens as. Here's my thoughts. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, let me do this just so we can because I can kind of draw you a little.
I'm certain my black and green lines are certain. They draw a very clear picture, you know.
All right, so imagine the tan is Arinthia, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm thinking it would be cool. Here's a couple different thoughts that I have, okay?
Yeah.
Either the fens are this.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
The fens could be... Oh, shitter. Okay, the fens could be like all south here. Boom, boom, that's the fens.
Yeah.
Okay? I think it could be cool if the fens are, like you're saying like this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that could be kind of cool. It might even be cool though if like the fens are like this. So there's like...
It's surrounded.
Yeah, like there's kind of like... And then like the marker for this for the fens could be the... could be, when you started to get to the hilly marches and then down or out of the hilly marches, it goes into like a hard marshland.
Yeah,
and then
I like the idea that it's like that marshland and swamps is like hey,
you like the mountains? You like the mountains though?
I do like them having mountains and some flat land to like draw wheat from or something like that, right? Like where it's like 50% of the country is like totally swampland, which is like a majority. Like that is a crazy proportion for any other country, really. And then like it'll be like 20% of it is like mountain border, and then the other 30 would be the flatlands in between. or the
Alright.
well fertilized land, because it's
Super rough here. I imagine this is the
yeah.
world.
Yeah. I think it's cool that it's like that there's the idea that it's like surrounded, that it's
I think it'd be cool
kind
that
of
it's surrounded.
encompassed.
I think it's cool if it's the total south though too.
Hmm.
And then like say then like this is like Tarsquali up here.
Sure.
Um
Part of me likes the idea of like so if we were to have it where we're surrounded, part of me likes the idea that you could say that like Orinthia has like grown and claimed, other like parts of it have willingly joined or not, like around the Finns, but they've not yet really like fully claimed the Finns like culturally or militaristically, and that would be like that's why the Finns are like so secluded, like they're the last ones, like they're the last ones yet to be like claimed as Orinthian, because they just haven't been able, they haven't done that yet, right? Like it's been easier to get everyone else because they're not so militaristically like castle builders. But being surrounded like a swampland surrounded by mountains that's like full of castles is like that would be, it makes sense why that would be kind of a difficult place to just like to claim either militaristically or culturally, and that would be like why they're the weird ones.
yeah,
The last ones left.
I'm thinking like part of my thought is like what geographical features can make sense on why they're different, right? So the south one works because it, like if this is a separate plate and then it's crashing, there could actually be a
Like a mountain divide here.
like a mountain divide here, and that wouldn't be crazy, right? That would make sense. If it's like, I mean, it could even make sense if it's like this too, by the way. It actually, like, as long, the only problem with, I guess, what you might not like too is if they're surrounded, that it actually kind of is harder for it to be a mountain divide. Maybe not, but unless they are, right? Unless maybe, here's the other, which is kind of actually what we had to a degree in a way, but is that if it's actually
Slow.
like a peninsula where it's kind of like a little Florida on here. And right, this exists because obviously it's a peninsula. And then there can be hills and some mountains and stuff here.
So when you say different, do you mean like culturally or national, like or country based, right? Because the way I could say that you could make it make sense is that like the Finns and Orinthia, what it used to, you could say at some point in history, it actually just wasn't just the Finns and Orinthia, right? Like there were
there could be that what the Arinthians are now is actually multiple ethnicities.
Yes. Yeah, and
then the Fens are not, are just they're called the Fen folk.
Yeah.
Whereas like in the Arinthians, they have maybe the northern folk, and then they have the Heartland folk, and then they have these folk, and then those folk. But the only reason that the Fen folk stand out is because they're actually not a part of the Arinthians. Is what you're saying?
Yeah, that could be like the primary distinction. Is the reason it doesn't have to necessarily just be geographic. Like there doesn't need to be like a line that draws like a mountain line that says the reason that nobody has moved down here is because there was a mountain line. You could say that the reason that nobody's moved here is they literally just haven't done it. Like time hasn't gotten to it yet because they're more inconvenient to get, but they've went around to the more convenient to assimilate cultures and countries and whatnot. And they've joined them into Orinthia, and they just haven't done it to the Finns yet because it's like a bigger endeavor. You could even say that they've tried, but it's not necessarily worked out every time. They've conquered lands from the Finns here at some point here and there. It would give them some sort of conflict between the two. It would like establish a historical conflict. Whereas if they just have a flat borderline, like this is the mountain range, beyond that mountain range is the Finns. It's like they don't actually have a ton of room for historical military conflict because like they both are pretty clear on like where their lines are. You could still say that there have been excursions one way or the other, but it would have to be that they never lasted long, right? Like England sitting in France.
Yeah. Yeah.
So which one do you like? Which one do you like the most here?
I mean, I think that's cool where it's like they just have got to them yet. I think I almost think it's best for them to be like in the south then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm here. We could also have it be like that there is a pseudo small peninsula off of it, even if it is like the totally southern portion. I'm trying to think. since this is the southern, if it sits on the southern part of the continent and it's like it covers the actual like southern arch of land, that means that boats passing from the eastern Orinthia going to western Orinthia, right? They do have to like go around the fens, and so there could be like some sort of significance about that as well.
Yeah, I mean, we could do like a well, I said I didn't really need that much. All right, here's our continent. Okay, again.
Yeah.
And then we have this kind of long peninsula, right? Obviously, this is like a super rough shape.
Yeah.
And then we'll balance it out over here so it's not like so crazy. It's very bootish.
It is a boot.
We'll disregard the boot, but you get the long peninsula here.
Yeah.
And then our fens can be like this. It's not the total south. Or we can say it is the total south, or we can say it's kind of just the peninsula.
Let me pull up my old little map here. Where's my maps at? Maps, here it is. I kind of like the Am I streaming? I am streaming, right? It's the left or the right screen. Am I streaming? Well, what am I streaming?
You're streaming.
Okay, yeah. So I like the idea. Whichever way we decide, I do like it having these lines like this, right? Like these glacial lines. These, I like the idea that I like the the twin bays is kind of important at this point.
Yeah. So we can do. So it might even be cool if we have a. What if we did like a. Okay, this might be a cool idea.
Yeah.
And then there's actually a part of Orinthia. This part's unfortunately cut off.
Yeah.
But there's like
down below it.
Yeah, that's like kind of down below it. And then there maybe like it's kind of more of a scrubland where this is like the marsh. And then one of our bays is like here, and then maybe one of our bays is like here. And then we have like there's actually some like land up here, and then there's like kind of this is like a bay into the bay. What do you think about that? Or do you kind of like the bays how they are now? Like where it's like they're both kind of next to each other?
I really like them being able to be like you could theoretically like walk from one bay to the next. If you were to like sail as the deepest part of one to the other.
What if the bays like kind of come in like this?
I'm looking here. Nothing here like seems like we couldn't do it. How Dorn shaped is this? Is my question because I don't remember the map.
Well, Dorn's just like England reversed. So just think of like what is that like? I forget what the hell is that called. Oh man, it's killing me. Where there's like Plymouth is out there and
Wales.
No, not Wales. Below Wales, we're like I think like Exeter's out there. I can't remember what that's for. What those Cornish? Like we're like.
I think I know. Is it
the Cornish Peninsula? I don't remember what the peninsula's called.
You want to know why I don't like this? This looks like just the other side of Dorn. This looks like just Dorn flipped sideways.
What we have?
Yeah, what we have here.
There's nothing below Dorn, is there?
No, Dorn itself. Well, I mean, the shape of Dorn and the fence is kind of like exactly the same.
What I have here?
Yeah. I mean, aside from the two like bays that are digging into it, but you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I kind of like.
You don't like the peninsula at the bottom?
No, I'm fine with the peninsula at the bottom, but if you look at the shape of the fins right there, just the Finland that you have marked out, kind of looks like exactly like the.
Okay, yeah. It is a peninsula. It's kind of hard to make a peninsula that's not like that, though, in a way. But yeah, I know what you mean.
I guess I kind of like the bulbous shape that we have the fins to begin with. We can't have a peninsula like that. I guess part of me is just kind of
you like it that it's like, oh well, we can kind of totally keep the shape here. Let me look back at your stream and kind of just remember the shape. So the shape's kind of like this. It's kind of like this, right? It's literally just like a triangle in a way with the. Obviously, there's details there, right?
Yeah.
And then
it's like a smudged triangle here.
Let me just. Okay. And then this is
And
my fence here.
Mhm.
And then the like this can be the surrounding area, right?
Yeah.
And then there could be this. And then we can kind of maybe come up like that, and do something like this, and then do something like this.
And I like the idea that the eastern border, like what stops the Finns, like what divides the Finns on the east is the mountain line, right? Like there's a range there, or difficult terrain to easily maneuver through, and then the northern like half of the Finns, like what actually divides them is their
river,
is their culture in the river, like the fact that they're just like, because you could march over a river. But marching over a river into just a bunch of castles is kind of difficult. I like the idea that that's part of the reason they've been able to survive independently like for so long, is it being important. I like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. And then this is kind of like my Tarsk Valley up here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I can have. I mean, Orinthia could be. Maybe Orinthia's. We kind of have some Orinthia shape. Do you think it's cool that Orinthia is like kind of swallowing it away?
Totally cool by that. Totally cool by that.
Okay, and then maybe actually this might be too much for Tarsk Valley. I'm just drawing out a really rough draft here just so I can kind of get an idea. And then Tarsk Valley should be like this. And Tarsk Valley is like a lot of peninsulas.
Yeah.
I like that I like Tarsk Valley to kind of be like very like Scandinavian kind of like esque as far as like geography goes.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of need it to make sense here geographically with like plates, just so it doesn't look crazy in my head, right? Because we know there's mountains here, and then there's mountains whoop and whoop and whoop all up here.
Yeah.
And then there'd be mountains here, but why would there be mountains here?
It could be two like colliding like ranges, right? So this line here that's going straight up from the Finns like could match up to the bottom of the Tarsk Valley range, right? So it could be like one is going upwards, the other one's going like western. Like the Tarsk Valley range is going western, is the plate going west, and then the Finn range is going north, and that's why it's like crashing into it there.
I'm just trying to draw it in my head, right? So this would be a plate. I'm just going to just draw a tree line here. So this is a plate.
Yeah.
But then it's like, this is a plate?
No. That doesn't, this one can just be straight, and it can be colliding, right? So because there could totally be mountains underwater, by the way, like plenty of like lines. They're not just crashing upward. So let me, damn, I wish I could draw over what you're drawing. Yeah, like that could be that's a different plate line to that one there. And they're conflicting, like they're conflicting plates. That's why the mountains are being built up there. This is 3 plate lines, really, right? Because there's the big one to the west.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out why there wouldn't be any mountains here, is my thing.
Well, I mean, there could be mountains there. Nothing's saying that there can't be mountains inside of.
No, there definitely can be mountains there, but then if there's mountains here, like, and then this is Orinthian, which would be okay, but I'm just trying to think.
Well, plenty of countries have claimed land over mountain ranges.
No, I know. I'm just trying to think. I'm trying to internalize
like Italy,
how the lore would go in my head if that were the case. So,
well, we could say that was another kingdom at one point as well that again joined Orinthia for one reason or another, whether it be more profitable or, through fear of militaristic takeover.
Or it didn't have to be mountains. It could just be hills.
Yeah.
Could just be hilly marshland.
Really, I just need the mountains needed, like the Finns need mountains to draw, like to pour rivers from.
Yeah.
Because they're not. It's not totally like the bays are saltwater, but it like a lot of its structure is from the fact that it has running clean water rushing down.
Yeah, we like this kind of shape here. This is what we got here.
Yeah, I'm cool with this shape. Okay. This shape is like.
Now we know it. And let's actually draw it beautifully.
Beautifully indeed.
All right. And it might even... Well, maybe I don't need my scale right now. Or maybe should I get my scale so we kind of know?
You want to look over to my stream real quick?
Yep.
So we could even have it. So like, see, this is the new border, right? Is sort of like this. We could even say that the Finns at one point reached over this river, right, before Orinthia really like united and aligned.
Mm-hmm.
And over time, or whether it be because these groups here refused, like, would rather be part of Orinthia than Finland, right? Than the Finns, they broke off. But like, what really stayed being Finland is beyond the river.
Yeah.
Everything over the river, like it's
Okay. Yeah. We just get okay, 18,000 miles. Okay, my map, my scale's way off.
huge. 18,000 miles is gigantic.
7,000
like-
miles is long.
5,000 miles is it's like in North America. Really, it's bigger. It's like the very tippy top of Canada to either the American border or maybe even further into Mexico.
3,700 miles from north to south sounds probably better.
Yeah, that's
Right? Does that sound good?
yeah, that works.
Let's get a I'm gonna jump over and get a reading of what that would entail as far as the United States goes. So
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to look at the map here now.
all right, so let's see. So let me think from Baltimore. Well, it's 3,700 miles. It's still pretty far out. It's further than Baltimore to LA. It's quite the journey. Yeah, 3,700 miles is way further than I thought it was, huh?
Yeah, because I mean, it was a. I'm trying to think, why is it not measuring the distance here? Click on the map to trace the path you want to measure. This here. Yeah, so the very top of North Dakota to the very southern part of Texas is 2,500 miles. Which, I mean, I think it's actually fine for it to be like 3,700 miles because it's a very like tall continent.
Yeah,
right?
it's true. That's true. Let's go for it.